Morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to Friday Flow. Nice seated position to start our practice today. And yes, I hope you all are enjoying some cooler weather, at least in the morning time. So let's start with a couple shoulder rolls in the seated position. Shoulders up to the ears, bringing them down and back. Just starting to open up our chest here as we sit. Finding a little bit of length in our spine here. Feel free to grab those props or anything that you have nearby. Let's do one more big shoulder roll. Taking the arms up on your next inhale. And then as you exhale, just reaching up towards the sky, reaching up through that right arm and through that left, as if you're lifting up through that rib cage. Taking a couple breaths here. Inhale and exhale, lengthening the spine as you do this. Take one more breath on each side. And then as you exhale, lower those arms out to the side. Interlace your fingers, bring them to your chest. Flip and press out and away. Tuck your chin, look down. Pull that navel in towards your spine. Pushing those shoulder blades apart from one another. And then inhale, take those arms up. And then exhale, go ahead and reach over to that left side. You're going to lower that left arm. Keep that right arm extended here. And take a couple breaths. Nice side stretch here. Pressing those hips into the floor. And then inhale, you're going to rotate, looking down at the mat. So that arm lowers a little bit. And as you exhale, I want you to extend and lift up. Take your gaze towards your elbow. So let's do that two more times. Inhale, rotate the chest, looking down at your mat. And then exhale, open up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. One more. Inhale, take it down. And exhale. So just gently opening up through that side body. And then come back to the center. Inhale. Exhale, lower those arms. Perfect. So we're going to do the other side. Let's go ahead. And this time, instead of interlacing our hands forward, I want you to take them back behind you. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Try to interlace those fingers. Pull the hands down, opening up through the chest and the shoulders. If it feels comfortable, you can tilt your chin up and take that head back. If not, you can just stay in that neutral position with your neck, continuing to squeeze your shoulder blades together and lifting up through the chest for one more breath. And then release those arms, take them up on your inhale. Exhale, interlace them again. Bring them up towards the sky, the ceiling, this time reaching to that right side. One more breath, and then we release that right arm, and we keep that left arm extended. Nice side bend. Think of really pressing down through those hips so you get a little more space to reach. And then inhale, we're going to close off. Take our gaze towards the mat, your chest towards the mat, and then as you exhale, open up as if you're going into triangle pose, looking up with your elbow. So opening through the chest and shoulders. Let's do that again. Inhale down, rotate down. Exhale, rotate up. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Come back to the center. Inhale and exhale. Let those arms go. Perfect. Okay, take your hands to your knees, a seated cat-cow. So inhale, sliding those hands back, pushing your chest forward. Pull your elbows together behind you. And then exhale, you're going to round the spine, tuck the chin. And a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. So just think of a traditional cat-cow, that same movement with the lower back, just in a seated position. Good. Inhale and exhale. Keep going. I'm just switching up my position here. I'm going to show you from the side. Feel free to adjust your position as well anytime. Inhale and exhale. Pressing forward and back. Let's do this one more time. Inhale and exhale. Perfect. Okay, so now we can come out of our seated position. We're going to come into that tabletop where your hands are right underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. Not child's pose, sorry. Cat-cow again. So this time, dropping that chest, your belly to the floor, lifting up through your tailbone. This is your inhale. And then exhale, really rounding that spine and tucking your chin in towards your chest. And let's do that again. Inhale. And then exhale. Make sure your feet, your toes are nice and relaxed here. Couple more cat-cows. Just warming up through the body. Keep going. Inhale and exhale. Again, really exaggerating that movement, opening up through the spine. We'll do one more. Inhale and exhale. And then take those knees wide, sit on back into that child's pose, dropping your forehead to the floor. Taking a couple breaths here. Just sort of taking note of how you're feeling in this position, this pose this morning, how your body's feeling, your joints. Maybe shift your weight a little bit from side to side here, create a little movement in this otherwise static pose. And then slowly come back up. We're going to go into a hip flexor stretch and get into those hips right away. So if you have yoga blocks, take them on either side of your mat. We'll start with that left leg forward. You can use your blocks here. Make sure you have support under your knee. You can always double up on the mat as well. So hands either framing your foot on the floor or on the blocks, but hands are on either side of that foot. So first, just dropping through those hips, getting a big stretch in that right hip flexor. So I use my blocks here so that I'm not sort of tensing my body or hurting myself to reach to the floor. Rolled up towels could work as well, or even just using the wall. Take one more breath here. And then slowly you're going to lift that chest. You're going to tuck those hips under, keep the core nice and strong, reach those arms up, inhale and exhale. We're just going to hold this for a couple breaths. So nice little lunge. Make sure that your hip, your knee, your ankle are in a nice straight line. And check out your form right there in your lunge. If it feels good, you can add a little back bend here. If that doesn't, stay right here. Take one more breath. Next, inhale, hands come down. Exhale, you're just going to simply take that leg behind you, and then we're going to switch and do the other side. So now your right leg forward. Framing out your foot, so your hands are on either side, either reaching for the floor or your blocks. You want to keep your back fairly flat. You don't want to round that back. You still want to keep that chest open so we can take 2 breaths here while we're in our lunge. So just dropping through those hips, taking one more breath, making sure you have that support under your knee as well. And now inhale, reach those arms up, and exhale, hold. So think of stitching your rib cage together, almost like when we interlace our fingers. Same thing with that rib cage and your core. So keep it nice and strong. Holding here for a few breaths. Continue to drop those hips. Get a little bit of balance here as well. And again, checking that form, your hip, your knee, and your ankle in a nice straight line here. Taking one more breath. Next, inhale, hands come down, and exhale. Go ahead and take that leg back. Okay, we can move our blocks to the side. We're going to go up to a downward facing dog. We're gonna warm up our core just a little bit here. So first down dog, go ahead and pedal out those heels. I want you to really lift those hips up. Press your chest towards your thighs. You're gonna hold this pose for a couple of seconds. So at any point this becomes too much, you can just lower those knees to the floor. Really lift those hips up, take a few breaths. Okay, on your next exhale, you're going to pull that right knee into your chest and come into a plank position. So you're gonna hold this for a couple of breaths. If that's too much, you simply lower the other knee to the floor. Give yourself some support, hold it for 4, 3, in a nice straight plank position, and step back, down dog. Take an inhale, exhale, your left knee comes to your chest, into your plank. Hold it here. So you're in a nice straight plank, knee is close into your chest, pull it in, hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it back to down dog. Perfect. Good job. This time we're just going to go to a regular plank. So inhale, come to that plank, and you're going to hold here. Exhale. For a couple of breaths, you can lower one knee, you can lower both. Keep those hips tucked under. Couple more breaths. 3, 2, 1. Lift those hips back up. Inhale. Good job. As you exhale, you're going to bend the knees. Walk those feet up to your hands, coming into a nice forward fold. Holding this forward fold. Relax the head. Bend those knees here. Try to reach to the floor. Get as close as you can. And then inhale takes us to standing. Our arms float up to the top. And as we exhale, we're going to take it all the way back down. Plant your hands to the floor, step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Exhale, you're going to lower knees and chest for chaturanga. Remember, elbows go straight back. Your chest lands right in front of those fingertips. Flatten your toes. Inhale, lift baby cobra. Elbows in, shoulders down. Exhale, retract the toes. Come up and back, down dog. Take a breath here. As you exhale, bend the knees. Go ahead and walk, hop or jump back to that forward fold. Inhale takes us up to standing. We're gonna do that one more time. Exhale, let it go. Swan dive forward, coming all the way down, plant those hands onto the floor, step back to down dog. And inhale forward to your plank. Taking your gaze straight in front. Exhale, knees and chest for that chaturanga. So gaze at the top of the mat. Flatten those toes. Inhale, lift baby cobra. And exhale. Let's go back to child's pose here. Come on back to child's pose. And hold it for a few breaths. So just want to do a quick sequence to get us nice and warm. Hold that child's pose for a couple of breaths. And we're going to practice side planks because we're going to practice standing half moon today. As I took my dog out early this morning, I looked up at the moon and it was a perfect half moon shape. So it inspired me a little bit. So we're going to practice that today. So go ahead and come all the way up into your tabletop position. Okay, so we're going to use our blocks for this. We'll sort of break down the movement. We already practiced it a little bit when we did our stretches in the beginning. And what you're going to do is extend that right leg out. And then you don't have to use your block, but you're sort of going to come up into a side plank position, extend that right arm up, and you're going to hold this. Now, if that's a little too much, this is where you use the block. Notice how it lifts me up a little bit. So let's just find this pose, and you're going to hold it for a couple of breaths. So again, you started in a tabletop, right leg goes back. You're going to open up, you stack your hips, make sure there's support on that knee. Your bottom hand is right under your shoulder. Make sure it's right under that shoulder and not a little further ahead. And that top arm reaches up. You're still holding this position. You're squeezing your glutes. This is how you're going to be when you're in your standing half moon. Okay, take one more breath here. And then inhale, slowly take that hand down, readjust your leg, and then go ahead and come back. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll try an actual side plank position. So I'm just going to turn this way so you can see. You're either going to set up your block or not. Make sure support for your knees here. This time we extend our left leg. We're going to make sure our right hand is under our shoulder. We're going to go ahead and open up. So you're going to turn that bottom leg a little bit, rotate it. And then go ahead and extend that left arm all the way up. Find the pose, hold it for a couple breaths right here. So you're going to imagine the piece of string on those hips lifting you straight up. Bottom hand is right under that shoulder. Hold this here, a couple more breaths, just so you get the idea of how this feels. You can even take your gaze looking down. That's a little too much for your neck. Keep those hips lifted. Take one more breath. Squeeze those glutes just a little bit. And then inhale, you're going to slowly take that hand down and then readjust. Let's come back into a quick child's pose, and we'll do it a little bit differently. So back into your child's pose. Hold that for just a couple breaths. And then we're going to transition from a plank position into that to practice one more time. All right, come out of that child's pose. Let's go ahead and find downward facing dog. All right, as you inhale, you're going to come forward to your plank. Okay? As you exhale, you're going to open up to side plank. So you're going to open up with that right arm, just like we did, extend it up. You can drop that left knee, just like we did as well, and hold it. So the extra challenge here is just keeping that other leg extended. You're just going to hold this for one more breath. It's a little bit harder. Inhale, you're going to come back to that regular plank. And as you exhale, let's try the other side. So you're going to stack those hips, extend that opposite arm up, hold this here, maybe drop that bottom leg, take your gaze up at your hand, hold this for one more breath, and then slowly come back to your regular plank. As you exhale, drop your knees and drop your chest down. All the way down, perfect. Flatten those toes, inhale, lift for baby cobra. And exhale, reach out the toes, come back to downward facing dog. Take one more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Take one more breath in this forward fold. And then inhale, slowly bring those arms up. You're gonna come all the way up to standing. This time as you exhale, bring your palms together, lower down to heart center. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna go through a standing sequence. And so we're just gonna remember those principles that we used on the floor. Remember, we're in that plank. For half moon, you stack your hips and you open up to the side. So you can use a bench, a dresser, a wall when we get to that point to help with some balance. But just keep in mind, you'll be in that warrior three, and then you wanna open up from those hips. Okay, let's extend those arms up. Inhale, and exhale, swan dive forward. So we're nice and warm now. Inhale, let's lift halfway. Nice flat back, hands come to your knees or your shins. And then exhale, let's lower. Let's start with warrior one, right leg. Medium step back, glue that heel into the floor. Extend those arms up and hold. You're interlacing your fingers here. Keeping your thumb and pointer finger extended. Arms glued to your ears. One more breath here in this warrior one. Next breath, inhale, you're gonna straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, you're gonna slowly lower your chest down. You're gonna keep those arms extended by your ears. If this is a little too much for your shoulders, take your arms back behind you by your hips. So we're trying to find a nice flat back, legs are straight. We're feeling a big stretch in those hamstrings. One more breath here. Nice flat back. Inhale. You're going to drop your left arm and then exhale, open up that right arm to find triangle pose. Also similar to our half moon. So hold that triangle pose for a couple breaths. Maybe you start with the hand on the hip. We're rotating open the chest and the shoulders. Take a few breaths here. Maybe find that wall. Big twist. The bottom hand, you can lift it up to maybe your knee. Does not have to be all the way down to your ankle. Listen to your body, your range of motion. Maybe next time we go through it, you can get a little bit lower. One more breath. And then inhale, slowly come up. And then exhale, you're gonna take a step forward into chair before we go into warrior two. So drop those hips, arms extended. Maybe they're at your chest. Hold this for one more breath. And then as you inhale, you're gonna stand up. You're gonna take a big step back with that right leg. You're gonna cartwheel those arms and find warrior two. So with this one, your hip is open. Nice wide stance, arms are extended. Bending that front leg, getting as low as you can. Imagine you're being pulled in both directions here at the same time. Tucking those hips under. Chest out, good, one more breath. Flip that palm, inhale. Exhale, take it back for peaceful warrior. Take your gaze up at your hand. Big side body stretch. One more breath. Inhale, come back to that warrior two. Exhale, take that back heel off the floor. Rotate the hips to face the front. Reach that back arm, take it all the way up. Inhale, hands to prayer. Exhale, you're gonna lean forward slightly. We're gonna go right into our warrior three, balancing on one leg. So you're gonna push off that foot, lift up, and find warrior three first. This is where your hips are facing the floor, your back leg is straight. I want you to flex that foot. Hold that right there. Imagine you're making a letter T shape with your body. So you don't want your hips to drop too low. Right in line with that leg. Hold this here, practice that balance. You can use that wall or whatever you have in front of you. Back is flat. Taking a couple more breaths. Standing leg is slightly bent. Primarily feeling this on that standing leg. You got it. One more breath. And then inhale, you're gonna bend that knee, bring it to your chest. As you exhale, we're gonna step right back to a high lunge. Inhale, take those arms up. And then exhale, we're gonna frame our hands down either side of our foot and step it on back to down dog. Inhale, come forward to your plank. Exhale, knees and chest, chaturanga. Lowering is one unit. Flatten those toes, inhale, lift. Exhale, back to your down dog or your child's pose. So we'll do that same thing on the other side. And then we'll start to incorporate our half moon position. So take one more breath. Bend those knees on your next inhale. Exhale, lock, hop, or jump. Forward fold. Inhale takes us to standing. And our palms come together as we exhale. Lower down to heart center. All right, same sequence on the other side. Warrior 1, 2, and 3. Let's take it up. Inhale and exhale, let it go. Lift up halfway. Inhale, hands to your knees or your shins. You're pushing those hips back. You're lifting the chest up right here. And then exhale, lower. Warrior 1, left foot. Medium step back, glue that heel into the floor, and extend those arms. Interlace your fingers here. Back leg straight, front knee bent. Hold this here. Want to take one more breath. You're going to feel a big stretch behind those legs. So as you inhale, you're going to straighten that leg, and then exhale, you're going to imagine someone is pulling your hips back as you're lowering your chest. You want to find a flat back here. If you can't find that with those arms in front, you can take them behind. So nice flat back, stop about halfway. Hold this for one more breath. And then inhale, you're gonna lower that right arm, and then exhale, open up through your left to find triangle pose. So adjust your position for whatever works for you. You wanna lift up through the chest. We don't wanna drop our chest completely in this triangle pose. Hold it for a few more breaths. Imagine I'm grabbing your wrist and pulling back a little bit. So I want you to open up even more, just like we'll do for that standing half moon. So opening up through that side body. One more breath here. Pressing into your back foot, pull yourself up, inhale. Exhale, we'll find a chair pose for just a couple moments. Dropping those hips, readjusting. Arms up or by your chest. One more breath here, get nice and low. Inhale, lift that leg up. As you exhale, you're gonna step it back. Warrior two, cartwheel those arms, left and right. So big, wide stance here. Dropping those hips, front knee is bent, chest is open, arms nice and strong. Good job. Shoulders down, away from those ears. Make sure you're pressing into all 5 toes of your back foot. Flip the palm, front arm, inhale, exhale, reach it back. Take your gaze up. Take one more breath, peaceful warrior. And then inhale, come on back. And then exhale, take that back heel off the floor. Rotate to the front, take those arms down and then reach up. Inhale and exhale, take them to your chest. Lean forward, we're gonna find a warrior 3 on the other side. So press off that foot, when you're ready, lift up. And in all these balances, you wanna think of lifting up and away from the mat. Even though it sometimes might feel like you're sinking. So think of lifting up, keeping that chest open, that leg lifted, tucking those hips under. You're holding this for a couple of breaths. If you fall out of it, just get back into it. For me, it helps to focus on one thing on the floor in front of me. Keep that focus right there. Keep breathing, back leg nice and straight. Let's take one more breath in this warrior 3. Inhale, and then exhale. You're gonna keep that balance. Bend your knee, bring it up to your chest. So that final challenge, take it back for a high lunge. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant your hands on either side of your foot and step it back. Down dog. So you can go through this sequence or find child's pose, up to you. Your plank, your chaturanga, your baby cobra or upward facing dog, and then coming on back. And then find child's pose or down dog for 2 more breaths. We're gonna go right into a second sequence. We're just gonna add on our standing half moon from that warrior 3. So have your bench, your wall, your blocks ready, whatever you're gonna be using. Take one more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Find that forward fold. Hopefully moving a little bit better than when you started and a little closer to reaching the floor. If you weren't there already. Inhale, slowly bring it up. Palms come together, exhale. Take a breath. Remember that pose is standing half moon. Focus on it, and then we're gonna make it happen. Reach up, inhale. Exhale, take it down. Lift up halfway. I'm gonna move a tiny bit faster as well. And exhale, warrior 1. So now I'm really flowing into each movement. Finding your flow. Straighten that leg, inhale, exhale, slowly lower, find that flat back. Leave your arms in front or behind. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Let's flow and open right up to that triangle pose. If the arm is extended, stack that hand right on top of your shoulder. Take your gaze up at that hand. Maybe you find a wall to do this. Oh my goodness, so much harder if you have that wall. Hold it for 2 more breaths. Keep that core nice and strong. You got this. Inhale, push into that foot. Exhale, chair pose. Get even lower here with this chair. Take those hands to prayer. Take an inhale, lift up, big step back. Open up warrior 2, cartwheel those arms, maybe get a little bit lower. Again, finding sort of that flow, that rhythm that works for you and your body. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Take it back. Go ahead and set up for that warrior 3. Inhale, exhale, hands to prayer. Lean forward and lift, warrior 3. Okay, hold this for 1 more breath. Now I want you to point your toes, and just like we did on the floor, I want you to go ahead and stack your hips. So lift that right hip up, open through the chest, and this is your standing half moon. So I'm using my bench for that hand, and then if you're ready, you extend that top arm. You could even do this against the wall. So it's sort of like a warrior 3, a combination of warrior 3 and triangle pose. So go ahead and try it. We're gonna hang out here for a couple of minutes or a couple of breaths, to practice. Maybe you reach for that block on the floor. Maybe your hand is just on your knee here. Hold it, let me check it out. Couple more breaths, everybody. Standing half moon, perfect. Yes, good job, everybody. Beautiful. Good, Mindy. Nice, Joanne. Try 1 more breath. And then inhale, take that knee to your chest, hands to prayer. Woo, exhale, step it back for that high lunge. Awesome, awesome job. Inhale and exhale. Take those hands down. You're gonna step back to downward facing dog. Perfect. Going through this flow again, or finding child's pose. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Great job. Child's pose or down dog. Take 2 more breaths. Awesome work. Okay, next one, you're gonna bend those knees. Walk, hop, or jump to the top of your mat. Forward fold, take a moment. And then inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, bring those palms together and lower. All right, same thing on the other side. Let's go. Reach up and let it go. All the way down. Inhale, halfway, nice flat back. And exhale. Remember, you're flowing from one pose to the other. Step back, warrior 1. Hold it here. 1 more breath. Straighten that leg, inhale, exhale, slowly lower. Imagine those hips being pulled back, but someone's also pulling on your wrists in the opposite direction. Flat back, extend through those arms, 1 more breath, and go right into your triangle pose, open up. Hold this here wherever you're at, triangle pose. Setting up for that standing half moon. You're essentially here, when you're in your half moon, that back leg will be lifted. So think of it that way as well, sort of prepping mentally for it. 1 more breath. Push into that foot, inhale, exhale, drop, step forward, chair pose, getting nice and low, right before we find warrior 2. And then bring those hands in, inhale up, big step back, cartwheel those arms, left and right, maybe getting a little lower than your last one. Then holding right here. Arms nice and strong in this warrior 2, good. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Go ahead and come on back, inhale, rotate that back heel, bring those arms up, and then get ready for that warrior 3, hands in prayer. Inhale forward, exhale, push off the floor. Hold that warrior 3, just for a moment, getting your balance. And then when you're ready, point your toes, stack your hips, and open up for your standing half moon. So if you're not sure, you can take a look at your screen. I can do it on this side. This is how it should look, that standing half moon. So find that half moon. Remember, there's always a slight bend in your standing leg. Just be mindful of your knee there. Use whatever you have for balance assistance. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Let's check it out. Let's see if you look like the moon that I saw this morning. Nice. Good job. Good tonight, good BB. Hold it. You got it. So really opening up through that side body. Keep that chest lifted. Maybe you take your gaze up at that hand or up at the ceiling for a little extra challenge. One more breath. You're gonna bend that knee, bring it to your chest, hands to prayer. Inhale. Woo, exhale, big step back. High lunge. Inhale, take those hands down. And exhale. Awesome job, down dog. And then inhale, come forward to that plank. Exhale, knees and chest. Take your time. Choose your version of that flow. Find down dog or child's pose. Just one more time. Awesome work, everybody. We're gonna practice one more balance pose. Take one more breath where you're at. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump. Coming into that forward fold. Inhale takes us up to standing, nice and slow. Bring your palms together as we exhale and lower down to heart center. Okay, so we're gonna go through that one more time and add one last layer, one last pose. A little bit faster. Inhale up and exhale. Halfway lift and release. Warrior one. I won't cue every single thing, just move with your breath. See if you remember what comes next. Straighten that leg, nice flat back, lower down. So make sure you are breathing, inhale and exhale each pose. Go right into that triangle pose. So third time through, can you find a little more room in your body, a little more space to open up? Inhale, lift. Exhale, chair pose, drop and lift. Lower those hands this time. Big step back, cartwheel those arms, warrior two. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Big stretch, can you reach a little further? Come back to warrior two. Set yourself up for warrior three, hands in prayer. Lean forward, lift up. Hold it there. Now you can stick with that warrior three or go ahead and practice half me one more time. So you're gonna stack those hips, open up, extend that arm. Hold it for just about 2 more breaths. This side's a little bit harder for me. And then inhale, you're gonna bring your hands back to prayer, back to that warrior three position. As you exhale, bring that knee up to your chest. And now here, you're going to place your foot on your leg for a tree pose. I'm gonna turn around and face you. You can stay right where you're at. So your foot goes either right by your ankle or on your thigh. So I know we're feeling that standing leg. Hold this tree pose. Imagine you're zipping up a tight pair of pants. You're nice and tall here. Maybe extend those branches. Take a couple breaths. Nice and tall wherever you're at. Again, focusing on one thing, maybe right in front of you or on the wall to keep that balance. And then you're going to slowly remove that foot from your leg. Bring that knee back to your chest and then big step back for that high lunge. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, you're going to take those hands down. Stepping on back. Good job. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Go through your flow one more time or take a little breather. Whatever you choose here. One more time, and we're gonna nice Big stretch for those glutes. Take one more breath. They are working hard. Next inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk, hop, or jump, forward fold. Let it go. And then slowly take it up. Get ready for one more round. Exhale, lower. So at that same pace, that same speed, really flowing in and out of each movement here. Take it up and lower. Halfway lift, push those heels into the floor, lift the chest. Warrior one. Lift. Straighten that leg. Exhale, lower, find your flat back. Pull those hips back. One more breath, and then exhale, open up to that triangle pose. Lift that chest. Good job, everybody. Find a little more space, a little more room in that body for a bigger stretch, bigger extensions. Press into that back foot, inhale. Exhale, chair pose, get even lower. Lower those hands down, step back, cartwheel those arms, warrior two. Even lower, arms even straighter. Make sure you're tucking those hips under, core nice and strong still. Flip that palm, inhale, exhale, peaceful warrior. Take it back, reset. Hips to the front, reach those arms up, inhale, palms together, exhale. Lower down, push off that foot, find your warrior three. And then go ahead and open those hips and find your standing half moon. One more time for any version of this. Just try to hold it for two more breaths. You got it. Lift that leg, lift your chest. Bring your hands back to prayer. Rotate your hip back down. Exhale, bring your knee to your chest. Nice and tall, inhale. And then exhale, you're gonna place your foot, open up from your hip, and find your tree pose on the side. Foot can be at your ankle or your inner thigh. And stay in prayer. I'll just face you all. Stay right where you're at. Keep that balance. Focus on one thing in front of you. Maybe extend those arms. Think of squeezing your glutes a little bit, keeping your chest lifted. Hold it for a couple more breaths, whatever level you're doing here. Nice and tall. Let's try one more breath. And then you're gonna lift that foot away from your leg. Inhale, rotate it back, knee to chest. Exhale, take that final step back into that lunge. Arms come up. Inhale, and then exhale. And for your last time, you can go through this flow or go right into your child's pose. Whatever you'd like. Once you're done with that flow, everyone's gonna find child's pose. Take a couple breaths. Good job, everybody. Maybe shifting your weight here from side to side. Awesome, awesome job. Take a few breaths. Walk the hands over to that right diagonal. Maybe bring your nose to your knee. Inhale back to the center. Exhale all the way to the other side. Get a nice side body stretch. Slowly back to the center. And then inhale, walk those hands up. Woo. All right, let's turn around and come to a seated position, boat pose. We'll do one last thing for our core, and then we'll just stretch it out. So if you have a block, you're gonna grab it. If you don't have a block, grab a rolled up towel or t-shirt, place it right in between those knees. We're going to lean back, hands start underneath the knees and lift up into boat pose. And what I want you to do is squeeze that block the whole time. So engaging those inner thigh muscles and all of those core muscles. When you're ready, free your hands and just extend them out by your side, palms facing up, keep squeezing that block. So a couple of different things you can do to make this harder. You can extend those legs straight up. If you want a little less intensity today, you can lower the feet to the floor. You're still squeezing that block though. So keep that chest lifted. Maybe you stay right here. Go ahead and bring the palms to face in towards your legs. As you inhale, take that right arm out to the side. Ooh, feel that shake. Exhale, bring it back in. Let's try the other arm. Inhale out. Exhale. Let's try maybe both arms. Inhale out. Oh my gosh, I feel like keep squeezing your block. Keep squeezing your block. Exhale. Maybe try it one more time. Remember, feet can always drop to the floor. Inhale out. Exhale in. You're going to hold it for 8 counts. Wherever you are. 8, 7. Maybe it's legs up. 5. Maybe it's feet down. 4, 3. Tuck those hips. Keep squeezing. 2. And then lower the feet. Come forward and relax. Move that block to the side. Awesome, awesome job. We'll start with just a quick butterfly stretch. Good job. So after this, we'll come into pigeon pose, or you can choose to do a figure 4 on your back. Whatever one feels better. Take one more breath. All right, so this is your figure 4 on your back, right? Your pretzel stretch. This is gonna be better for your back and your knees. Pigeon pose is up here. So whichever one you wanna do, I'm gonna do pigeon pose. Doesn't matter what leg you start with, we'll do both sides. If you're in pigeon, you can always take that block underneath your hips if they're still sticking up a little bit. The goal is to get your shin parallel to the top of your mat. So if you're in pigeon, you can lower down onto your elbows. If you're on your back in that figure 4, you can bring those legs closer into your chest. Everyone should feel this in their glutes and their hips. Take a few breaths, because we worked them hard today with all those poses. So if you're on your back, you can just simply switch and cross that other ankle over. Just do it very slowly. If you're a pigeon, lift up slowly. You're gonna tuck that back toe. You can come back to a down dog. Probably the easiest way to get in and out of it. And then you just simply bring that other leg to the top of your mat. If you're a pigeon, feel free to lower to your elbows. On your back, you can bring those legs closer into your chest. Just make sure you're not straining your neck. Keep your back flat and your head down. So you get a little extra stretch if you're doing the pretzel. All right, so pigeon people, we're going to meet our pretzel people down on our back. So if you do pretzel, you can go ahead and just release, place your feet on the floor, do a couple windshield wipers until we join. So you're gonna come out of your pigeon pose, maybe back to that down dog one more time, lower the knees and then come down onto your back. And everyone's gonna find windshield wipers. So feet are about hip distance, they're flat on the floor. Feel free to move your arms around, maybe take them overhead, and you're gonna drop the legs from side to side. Windshield wipers. Nice and easy here, allowing those hips and back to come off the floor. Let's go ahead and extend those legs straight out, and we're gonna start by hugging our left knee into our chest. Reach underneath that knee, pull it in, maybe move it around in circles here. Take your left hand now on top of your knee and bring it out towards the left side. External rotation. Keep your hips on the floor for this one. And now you're gonna bring it across the body. Use that right hand to gently bring it all the way across. This time hip comes off the floor, extend through your left arm. Look over that shoulder, spinal twist. If you want a little more stretch, extend through your left leg, just simply straighten it out. Press through that heel, you'll get a little more stretch. Straightening that leg. And slowly back to the center. Ooh, nice and slow, be mindful of your back. You're gonna go ahead and bring your right knee into your chest. Hands reach underneath, and then let that left leg just relax. Extend it out. Right hand on top, open up through those hips, out to the right side. Almost like a half butterfly stretch. And then we're going to bring it across the body. Use that left hand to gently pull it across. Extend through that right arm, look over your shoulder. Hold here for a twist. And then slowly back to the center. Bring both knees into your chest. Rock side to side. Circle your ankles, wiggle your toes. We'll find happy baby as our final pose. So lift those legs up, grab your feet. Extend up, and then feel free to massage your spine by rocking side to side. And then when you're ready, just gently bring those feet back together, lower onto the floor. Maybe one more stretch of your choice. And then go ahead and just close your eyes when you are done. Find a nice, comfortable relaxation pose, whatever that is for you this morning. Just close your eyes for a moment. And slowly start to wake your body back up, move your head from side to side, nice and gentle. Circle your wrist, wiggle your fingers. Start to gently pull your knees into your chest. Give yourself one last hug. Tell yourself something nice, something positive. And then slowly roll over to one side. When you're ready, gently press yourself up and come to a seated position of your choice. Inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, let it go. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale, let it go. One last time, bring those hands together on your exhale. Lower down to heart center. Thank yourself for making the time for you this morning, for our bodies, hopefully also for our minds and our spirit as well. And we'll say namaste to one another to end our practice. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody. Happy Friday. Thank you for coming. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Drop your site name in the chat box if you haven't already.
Happy birthday, Ellen.
Thanks, Mindy.
What?
Day.
I didn't know that.
Thank you.